ahwefo ne etie for your sign so makwaba edeba akroma TV so na ye bora ensem ma ne ye borum ewe ye journalist kese o man kan mu awasan di makotene power TV3 na din e Johnnie Hughes no the same be atudwa ensem o de tudwa no fa Assin North by election course no na see the Patriotic Party ntwom di ani na no omo na chese Assin North for nankasa no adwene na show mutiri mu na chese o de ensem tudwa na ensem ni mu ano so san kasati a the new Patriotic Party where dem kwan bi so atumi say ahwe na atempen for asoba asem a kan no ebetumi lead to big trouble pa no so nsem ababonti amede ebemuti no men say be kwan man kotie ensem ankasa Johnnie Hughes o journalist kese o man kan mu no wasan di makotene o TV3 no so to na num to so editudwa.
I chanced upon something yesterday. And it does appear that when people are in opposition, they have all the ideas, they have everything. Once they get into power, see, this is 9th of July, 2015. Gabi Asare-Chedako, who was in Assin North campaigning.
That's right.
I wouldn't say he saw people distributing money. I wouldn't say he knew that people were distributing money. But I would say that he went to support the campaign. And if distributing money and sharing money and other goodies were part of the campaign, then maybe your guess is as good as mine.
Right.
But he tweeted on the 9th of July 2015, I said, when 6 out of 10 voters reject you and your vote buying schemes in a by-election in your stronghold, surely it must give you cause to worry. He knew this in opposition.
Yeah.
With the benefit of power. Does he still know this? With the benefit of power.
In fact, he had a lot to say post the election. He had some congratulatory messages, but also was juxtaposing Assin North situation with Kumeu's situation. But as you say, and that is why even now, as the NDC is speaking, as they are looking to take power next year, as they are letting all Ghanaians know, we're scrutinizing what they say, because we know that in opposition, everybody has the best ideas, the finest ideas. They know what to do to take us out of every conundrum until they regain power. And all of a sudden, all of those beautiful theories, ideas, and policies just go by the wayside, and it's business as usual.
They vanish.
They vanish.
And you see, Mustafa Hamid, Dr. Mustafa Hamid, Sheikh Dr. Mustafa Hamid, good morning to him. He said, when you get to the point where people cannot look you in the face to tell you that you are going the wrong direction, then you are doomed. The people of Assin North couldn't look the president and all the others in the face to tell them they are doomed. They looked elsewhere. They spoke with their thumb.
That's right.
To tell them you are doomed. And that's a problem. Because they will take what you give to them. They will cheer you on. But when it comes into their and it reflects how people discuss things privately, but when they come onto the public, space, they are quiet and they're just watching. They're just flowing along with the tide. But privately, in their voting booth or voting screens, they will make a decision that will hurt you. And you can clearly see how the party in power feels so bruised and so embarrassed. Now they are sounding, it's democracy, congratulations, and I saw the president's congratulatory message. He congratulated the NDC, but there was a candidate in the election.
He never mentioned James Chachikwesin's name in there.
I read the NPP's statement. He congratulated the NDC, but there was a candidate.
That's right.
There was a candidate. Anyway, the Ghanaian Times this morning says at Eid al-Adha prayers, economy getting better, grows at 4.2% in Q1 of 2023. President Akufo-Addo, Assin North constituency by elections, Chachikwesin wins seat again. And government spends 800 million Ghana cedis on 900,000 businesses in 5 years. GEA CEO Mrs. Kosi Yankee Aye. And tanker drivers strike. Roads minister meets union executive on strike. And this the fourth day. The Daily Graphic this morning says that things getting better. Economic grows 4.2% first quarter. President Akufo-Addo. YEA secures jobs for 84,000 youth in 6 months. Democracy is about development. Chachikwesin, who is the MP elect for for Assin North constituency. President Lord's peaceful poll at Assin North and dispute resolution. Judge affirms judiciary traditional authorities partnership. The business finders Thursday reverse high interest rates on government borrowing from domestic market. Dr. Stephen Amoah is the Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry, popularly known as TICA. Religious tolerance harmony record must be maintained. President Akufo-Addo in a handshake with Chief Imam, and Dr. Akuto lobbies company to set up tractor manufacturing plant in Ghana even after he left the Agric Ministry. What do you have there, Helen?
All right. Well, the BNFT is here this morning, and this is what the front page has to say. New commercial paper market to give investors more options. Promoting financial literacy for women-owned SMEs will fast-track national development. Bank of Ghana is a shining reflection of public institutions. We'll tell you who is saying that. Parliament to expedite budget bill, and that's coming from the Speaker, in a bid to give MPs a say in national budget setting and allocations. And there's a feature in here on page 5. It says, inevitable second round of DDEP will organize labor sacrifice pension funds. And I know there's a lot happening, so some attention has been shifted off some of our fiscal woes, but the domestic debt exchange is still something that's very much on the table. Government, I believe, is still sniffing around. If they can pinch some monies from different places, they surely will. The Daily Guide this morning, Sarkodie Yvonne battle over abortion. Sarkodie's reply hit the air, hit the socials, if you will, yesterday, and a lot of you had a lot to say about that. We live to fight again, as NDC's Jachi Kwesen retains Assin North. That's what the president says. He says we live to fight again.
He didn't retain Assin North. If you're looking at it from the way I see it, he was literally chased out. I mean, professors of law and the rest have spoken and said that the Supreme Court didn't get it right. But of course, the Supreme Court. And so they understand the law better than you and I and many more Ghanaians.
Correct.
Prior to the elections, we were told by the same people who are telling us today that Jachi Kwesi has retained the seat, by the same people, that the seat is not his and that he is not even qualified to hold the seat and all of that. So why are we talking about retention? Can you retain what you never had?
Good point. Also on the front page of the Daily Guide, things will get better. Akufo-Addo is saying, also pictured here on the front page. And Sankofa gold workers in police grips. On the back page of the Daily Guide, Mbappe blasts police for Paris shooting, and Jan storms Parliament. Of course, we know he's recently hung up his boots. He's retired from football. That's what we have on these two papers.
Okay, I'm sure Assin North is still up in the trends. We'll talk about it some more later in the day, because we will do a proper post-mortem. We'll talk to the men and the women who went on the ground and also those who put their strategies together. But then again, there's one that affects business that we want to talk about on page 2 of the Business Finder story by Selom Biji. And in Accra, Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry, Dr. Stephen Amoah, says the situation where governments borrow from the domestic market at a higher interest rate than the private sector must be reversed. He cited the example of interest rates of government securities such as treasury bills being higher than what investment instruments of commercial banks offer in the country. The incentive, he says, to banks to invest in government instruments rather than providing credit to the private sector. Ghana's domestic borrowing costs have soared, as in interest payments were consuming between 70 and 100% of government's revenue. According to the MP for Nshaisu constituency in the Ashanti region, government's penchant for borrowing from the local market at higher rates has made it difficult for local businesses to access funds at a reasonable rate, and in effect,
I know any some of our pay so they are to draft I see not by election the call to say election ko na we like to say the New Patriotic Party to make the 2 years but say the New Patriotic Party to make the now so the National Democratic Congress so they to me fa e me fa konwa no e to edisi omona so no so se maba bontia Johnnie Hughes so ni sanse se abeto ade about also TV to my comment section I was so akọkire wa na mnya bra beso metumi akenkan e de ama aha akroma TV so na de kasebo yi ebrem midin e de obi Gabriel search makra mo